Hi everybody, this is Jack Carter, and in this video I'm going to give you my list of forever stocks. Stocks you can buy today and hang on to forever. Never sell these stocks. I own these stocks. I'm just passing it along to you. I've got my own money in them. I like these. I'm never selling them. First one up is NVIDIA. Got a dividend yield of 0.3%. The reason you want to be in this company is they're going to be the leader in AI for a long time. Every company that wants to get into AI is going to need to buy the NVIDIA chips. They're not cheap. The price of them is only going higher. They can sell all they can manufacture. People are trying to get these. Other companies are trying to get it. They'll take all they can get, and they still can't get enough. That's going to be the case for a long time. NVIDIA is the leader in AI and AI chips. Next up is Microsoft. Dividend yield of 0.84%. They're a leader in everything technology, everything computer related. Everything from the cloud computing to hardware, software, the whole 9 yards. They're in on it. The next one up is J&J. This is the leader in the healthcare field. An interesting point about J&J is that there's only two companies that have a better credit rating than the United States government. J&J is one of them. Microsoft is also one of them. There's only two. They've got a dividend yield of 2.86%. This is a powerhouse in the healthcare field. Everybody needs some exposure to healthcare. This is the top stock in that field. Next up is McDonald's with a dividend yield of 2.14%. Now, the great thing about McDonald's is their management team. Every time something happens in the economy where things slow down, McDonald's has found out a way to consistently beat earnings. They have a unique ability to pass on inflationary costs onto the customer, which most companies don't have that ability. McDonald's does. It's a great, well-run company. Dividend yield of 2.14%. You can reinvest that dividend and buy more shares. Next up is AbbVie. This is also in the healthcare, but more along the drug line. And they're a powerhouse company. Got a dividend yield of 4.04%. Again, reinvest that dividend. Keep buying more AbbVie shares. You can even sell covered calls against these stocks and use the premium to buy more shares. AbbVie, I consider this a must-own for a forever stock. Next one up, AVGO. The company is Broadcom, but the ticker symbol is AVGO. They've got a dividend yield of 2.16%. You can reinvest that dividend and buy more shares. The great thing about Broadcom is their position in the market. They work hand in hand with everything going on in AI. It's a real sleeper of a company. You don't hear a lot of PR about this one, but it's one of the top companies. In fact, Dividend Tracker even puts this one in the 90th percentile for well-run companies. Great company. Next one up is Archer Daniels Midland. Now, food is going to be an issue. Processing food, manufacturing, the whole food industry is going to go through some dynamic changes in the next 10 years. And Archer Daniels Midland is at the top. They run the whole show when it comes to the food business. Dividend yield of 2.13%. This is going to be a real big company in the future. It's a huge company now, but they're going to play a bigger role in everyday life in the future. Next up is Realty Income Corp, ticker symbol O, capital O. Now, Realty Income Corp is a REIT. It's a real estate investment trust, and by law, they've got to pass through 92% of their earnings or their revenue in the form of a dividend because it's a REIT. Now, this is a triple net lease company, which means when they lease property to their tenants, the tenant is responsible for everything: repair, maintenance, taxes, the whole 9 yards. Triple net lease means Realty Income Corp does nothing to the building after they lease it. All of its maintenance is on the tenant. If lightning strikes the roof, Realty Income Corp doesn't pay for it. The tenant pays for it. This is one of the best business models on the planet. A triple net lease company. Now, their Their leases are about 25 years, and their tenants are all A-plus tenants. But one of the unique things about Realty Income Corp is that they pay a dividend every month. Monthly dividend. I love that. 5.48%. You can reinvest that dividend back into buying more shares of stock, and before you'll know it, you'll have a really huge position in Realty Income Corp. Next up is Exxon. XOM, dividend yield of 3.36%. This is one of the biggest companies on the planet. They've got major plans to move away from carbon as a form of energy, and so they're killing it right now in the oil business. They'll be killing it in the future in all things energy related. Again, this is a must-own stock in the oil business. Then, of course, we got Apple, AAPL, with a little dividend yield of about 0.5%. The future is all about Apple. They're moving away from the hardware and the phones. They're moving into services, everything from Apple TV, Apple Music, you name it, Apple's going to be in it. They're also going to be a huge player in AI, and the future for Apple looks very bright. The last one I have for you is one I also own. I own all these. This is Energy Partners. The dividend yield is 7.6%. This is a very high-yielding stock. It's what they call a midstream player, which means they own pipelines for everything from oil, natural gas, liquefied natural gas, you name it. Their pipeline is their biggest asset. And regardless of the price of the commodities they push through the pipeline, you can think of the pipeline like a toll road. Everybody that pushes their product through EPD's pipeline has to pay the toll. And that dividend yield of 7.6 is one of the highest. Also, I consider it to be very safe. Again, you could reinvest that dividend into more stock, and you'd make a great portfolio with these forever stocks. That's all I got. Stay tuned. I'll have another chapter on this soon. Take care.